welcome to another episode of Evo Inspired. Today I'm meeting with Stephen Townsend. Tell us about yourself, Stephen.
Hi Fraser, thanks for the invite. I'm Stephen Townsend. I'm the CTO at Ctrl, which is a cloud cost management platform. I'm a bit of a tech geek through and through. Software developer was the start of my trade, but first got my interest when got my first computer back when I was going to high school, actually. And that was a very exciting stage of my life. Yep. And I've been stuck working on computers ever since. So nice. I'm not sure I ever leave a chair.
What is the one piece of career advice you wish someone had given you when you were starting out?
For me, I think it's focus on what you want to be doing, not the role or the title that you want to have in your career. I think at different stages of your life and your career, that can mean different things. When I was younger, that meant learning everything I could about something that was exciting or something that I was good at. When I got a little bit more experience and a little bit older, I'd started to specialize in technology a little bit. And then from then, I've been lately more thinking about, what kind of impact I want to be having, not just what I want to be doing, but what do I want to do that's going to have some impact. And that's where I am now, I guess. I'm trying to focus more on what I can do that's more positive impact on my work and my team and my family, most importantly. And I think with that advice, if you follow a path of what you want to do and what impact you want to leave with people, you naturally sort of develop an expertise that becomes valuable to someone. And when you develop that level of expertise, you might be surprised how roles and titles might follow you where you go. Yeah.
And can you share a pivotal moment in your career journey that made a significant impact?
Well, there's been a few, but there's one that really stands out, I guess, compared to the others. And I was working on a software project as a team lead, and we were undertaking a project, but I could only describe it now as a bit of a death march. That would be the definition of what that is. The team was like working night and day for a week to reach this delivery goal, which wasn't just unrealistic, but also meaningless. It was just a date, someone plucked out of thin air from the management team, promised it to a customer, and there was also a set of features that went with that. So there was this whole bundle deal they made, but there was no discussion or consultation with the team that had to deliver it. So I'm sure plenty of people would be familiar with that scenario. Yeah. So during that project, I think I was walking up the driveway at my home about 3 a.m. in the morning for the third day in a row. And I thought, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing to myself? What am I doing to my wife? And the next day I started looking, what do I want to do? What's going to be different? And looking for a different type of work, maybe at a different type of company. So I shifted my priorities from wanting to work for someone to sort of working with someone. I think that collaboration is key, and there's a good differentiator there. I think I wanted to work with someone who, if they wanted me to deliver something, I wanted to work with them. Let's figure it out together, how we're going to do that, and what we're going to do. So I think that's important to keep in mind, like your happiness and your health, and it's your job to look after that, and no one else will do that for you. So be mindful of that in your career. And after a couple of other jobs, I ended up working with SixPivot, and now my role at Cloud Control. And I think because of that, this is probably this definitely is the longest standing role that I've held. And I think that's because I found a good leader who works well with her team, like has that collaboration, and works for the team as well. So does stuff for the team to make sure that their job goes smoothly. And also they have very similar values to myself. So from a work and a personal perspective. And I think, I'm getting to that point in my career where they outweigh any sort of monetary value or anything as well.
Yeah. So liking that you're working with that collaborative feel instead of just feeling like you're up against it.
Yeah, like just, to some degree, you're always working for someone unless you run your own company, and then you're probably working harder than most. Yeah. But, you're always working for someone. So there's always going to be that little bit of feeling of being told what to do. But it's nice to be told what to do after you've been heard about what you think might be important. And I think that's a key value people should carry.
How do you approach challenges and setbacks in your professional life? And what's your go-to strategy for overcoming them?
Well, when we talk about dealing with setbacks, the first thing, I will say is it gets better with practice. I think the more setbacks you encounter, the more familiar you become about how you react to them and the paths that do and don't work for you. But for me, when I sort of hit a setback or I face a challenging situation, I need to get comfortable with how I feel about that. So I might be angry, I might be sad, I might be annoyed, I might be very disappointed, I might be doing lots of choice words. But then what I need to do is, in that state, I've learned that I need to take a time out. So I need to step away and work out what's actually going on, think about it more. That might be minutes, could be hours, it could be days. But I've learned over time, I try not to react to my immediate instincts because that rarely works out in a positive way.
Yep.
Hence the practice. And I find taking that time, speaking with friends, speaking with family, it sort of resets your perspective and gives you the headspace to then start working on a solution to whatever you're facing.